Hello, today I'm going to be talking about semen retention. So I used to watch all these different YouTube videos about porn addiction recovery, and I went down the rabbit hole of semen retention. And I know this might not be for everyone. Hopefully some of you guys listening have never gone down that rabbit hole, but if you have, this is going to be pretty perfect for you, because what I have discovered through learning the Beyond Compulsion method and rewiring my addicted neural pathways is that the addicted part of the mind can use a lot of stuff around the biology and the semen retention side of things against you to try and get you to engage in a compulsive behaviour. And to be honest, it's all kind of bullshit. Like, if I never learned that stuff about semen retention, I don't think I would have had these particular junky thoughts and unanswerable questions swirling around in my brain. Really, they're just strategies to try and get people to engage in compulsive behaviours. And I don't think the guys doing the semen retention videos are there like trying to get people to relapse. I just think they're in porn addictions and they haven't really understood this problem correctly. That's where I was at. So like, I hold my hands up, before Mary Portis, a woman over in Portland, Oregon, actually taught me how to solve this issue. I was just another guy creating nofap videos, talking about semen retention, believing there was these magical, powerful, superhuman benefits to not ejaculating. Like, it was crazy times. So I've taken a U-turn on basically everything I said prior to Mary, and that's just due to my experience of learning how to be in control of my own desires, rewiring my neural pathways, and really observing how the addicted part of the mind operates for both myself and also hundreds of people who have also come to me for help with porn addiction across the whole world. So here's some thoughts that I've had in the past, which really have come just from the addicted part of the mind. And brief overview again, you've probably heard this a lot of times now, but in the addiction, what you have is these different parts in your mind. So you have the rational part of your mind. Obviously, a part of you wants to stop watching porn, wants to stop like masturbating. There's that part of you that wants to stop doing these things that are really just destroying your life. But then suddenly out of nowhere, you feel this urge and you have these desires and you want to engage in the behavior, and you're like, oh shit, like what do I do now? And there's all this resistance, and you might feel some pressure and you might feel a bit anxious, like, oh god, like I've got all this desire, how do I deal with this? So that's the dilemma, is that a part of you wants to stop it, that's the rational part of the mind, but then simultaneously you've got a different part in your mind, the addicted part of the mind, that wants to engage in the compulsive behavior. Now, the addicted part of the mind uses all kinds of strategies to try and get you to go ahead and engage. It wants to get you out of the discomfort, because it is uncomfortable being in an addiction, right? When you've wired your brain in this way, you are going to experience discomfort. And so the addicted part of the mind's trying to get you to engage, to get you out of the discomfort and provide you with some temporary relief. Now, it's going to use all kinds of strategies. And as I say, a lot of them can be to do with the whole biological sort of semen retention side of things. So here's some thoughts that I've had. I'll just be very open. These thoughts come from the addicted part of the mind. So these are not the rational me. And when you become a Beyond Compulsion Academy member, you get trained very specifically on dealing with these different parts of the mind. And on our group calls, what we do is we actually share what the addicted part of the mind has been saying. So we bring all of this into awareness. We see it all as bullshit. And fortunately, we know exactly what to do when we have these kind of thoughts. We just go to a script, keep it super simple, think through the choice in that moment, and rewire the neural pathway a little bit. But it can be quite useful to write down these thoughts as well, just to have that extra bit of insurance. You just know, oh yeah, that thought is bullshit. And then later on, you can correct the thought and go, bloody hell, look at what the addicted part of the mind was trying on me, 2 days ago. So here's some examples. I've had thoughts like this before. I have so much powerful sexual energy in me. I've had thoughts like, I need to put this sexual energy into something. Or, oh, I've got such a big buildup of semen. Is this going to give me prostate cancer? I mean, that one is just pretty extreme. That's like the addicted part of the mind really sort of trying to grasp at something. It's just pretty insane. I've got so much testosterone in me. And I've got many other ones as well, like, oh, why do I have all this desire? Is this biological? or maybe it's to do with evolution. There's so much energy in me, or maybe I should do X, and that will really help me make the most of this energy. So a lot of it is to do with like energy and believing that it's going to help me in some way, like maybe be more productive, and that energy's got to go somewhere. And you hear that all the time in like the semen retention videos, is like, you've got to transmute your sexual energy. And it's just like, what are you guys on about? Like, oh man, like I'd love to do a podcast, I suppose, with one of these like sexual energy, sex transmutation, semen retention preachers, and just be like, what are you actually on about, mate? Like, it makes no real sense. All your thoughts are just coming from the addicted part of the mind, and it's just complete bullshit. It's just nonsense. As men, sure, we're biologically wired different to women. Of course we are, right? Of course we're going to have maybe more compulsive. You know what? I want to take that back. We're not necessarily going to be wired to have more compulsive desires, but we are wired to probably have more sexual desires. And it isn't a question of where do I put the sexual energy, or believing that you need to release. Like, that's another one I used to have, is like, I'd have a wet dream and I'd then feel like, oh, I've still got some like semen left in my body that hasn't like fully been released during the wet dream. So now I need to go release it. It's like, what? Like, really? It's just a lot of bullshit. So yeah, of course there's some biological differences between men and women, but I do believe that most of these thoughts are just the addicted part of the mind trying to get you to relapse. And I think for me, the evidence of that is I've had all these thoughts loads of times in the past. I've gone to a script and thought through the choice in that moment, because I've acknowledged that these are just indicators of compulsive desire, thought through the choice rationally, and then like the next day I just wake up and I'm fine, and like I don't have those thoughts anymore, and I don't have like prostate cancer suddenly, or like you know, like the build-ups, there is no build-up. It's psychological. That's what I want to get at. You know, there's no real need to release. Like, it's all just what's going on in your mind. It's all just bullshit, basically. And you don't need to buy into any of this stuff. And hopefully this can really get the point across that if you have these thoughts, well, yeah, you probably want to correct them. You probably want to really work on them and see them as bullshit. But more importantly than anything, you want to learn how to deal with compulsive desires and see that these are all indicators of compulsive desire, and they're really just symptoms of being in a porn addiction and not knowing what to do when you're in a porn addiction. And yeah, I don't think I'm alone in having some of these thoughts. If you've had similar thoughts yourself, can be useful to sort of raise a bit of awareness of them. Feel free to comment below with any thoughts that you've had that are similar to some of the ones I've had, maybe about the biological side of things, or evolution, or believing there's some kind of indefinite build-up of semen or energy, whatever thought it is, you know, let us know in the comments. Would be interesting. Cheers, guys. If you would like to see if you have a problem with porn yourself, then I would recommend taking the compulsion test to get a score out of 100. There will be a link to that below. Cheers, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.